Hello,
Playing,
internet. We're
did you play the
live.
intro noise? Do we
No,
have
I,
intro
I
music?
didn't. I didn't.
No, we
No.
don't. We don't do that anymore.
Sometimes, but sometimes,
Oh,
yeah,
sometimes you just can't.
whatever.
Yeah.
You
Sometimes
know,
whatever. I
yeah,
get it.
Hi, we're the nerds. This is the Nerd Ledger. I'm Cage.
Yep.
That's Chair.
This is
Um,
chair.
yeah,
Pay no attention to the man behind the microphone.
yeah. If you think that I'm dressed different than usual, I am. I am.
It's because he's 30. It's because
No,
he just turned
that's
30 years old,
that's
and
not why.
he's a sexual tiger now. He's a machine. He's a beast.
That's not why.
Those thir those that 30-year-old glow up, bro, it hits you, and you're just like, damn, I could fuck all night.
No, it's
Anyway, please
it's
continue.
because usually I leave work. Okay, usually I go to the gym after work and then
Yep.
I shower and then I get just dressed and I podcast. But today I didn't because I had to come home because there was a tow truck here and I had to be
Hmm.
here when the tow truck came here to pick up my
Yep.
car.
Which has
And
been
yeah, and so I'm still in my work attire, and I'll go to the gym later. And the gym is
Does
a whole
anyone?
nother thing. I don't think I talked about that. I'm not going to talk
Yeah,
about it because
no, you did. You did talk. Are you saying like you hate Planet Fitness now, or are you saying like what happened with your work gym? You already talked about that. You talked about that a lot
oh,
yesterday, last week.
did
Like
I?
how your work gym, yeah, how your work gym got closed, and it's kind of strange because you're a company that promotes health and wellness, and you can't even like offer your employees like a little gym and some shitty little
Yeah,
part of your
I
office.
don't know. I don't think I talked about it on the podcast. I think talked about it before.
Oh, I
But
could have sworn I could have sworn you said that.
yeah, well, I don't want to blast that stuff out there because maybe some people
Oh, we
might
can.
like.
Okay, we can delete this episode. We
I'm
can run it
I'm
back.
not going to because I don't
Okay.
edit and I don't care. But
All right.
yeah, I mean, we didn't say any names, so we're chilling. We're chilling.
It's all good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, I've been going to the gym, just the regular
Planet
Planet
Fitness.
Fitness, and it's fine. Like
Yep.
like there's a lot of machinery and stuff there, so it's fine. It's just there's a lot of people, and I'm not a big fan of people, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
good because you remember you used to say like nobody else was but you was using that gym, which maybe is the reason they shut
no,
it down.
other people used it. It's just like
Mm,
not people didn't really use it when I was in there, which was good.
okay, but it's
But
nice to
like,
have your own little. Yeah, it sucks going from having your own basically your own personal gym to having to
yeah,
go to Planet Fitness.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, it's fine. Anyway, so yeah, my car got picked up by the tow truck because Sunday night around 11 p.m.s. I'm in bed, I'm about to go to sleep,
Hmm.
and then
At 7 p.m.
no, 11 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so then like I hear something, and to me it sounds like when you have like a big like utility trailer like full of tools and other shit,
Hmm.
like it sounded like somebody was driving that over like speed bumps at like 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like the shit kind of just goes, you know what I'm saying? And like I thought it was kind of odd because I was like, well, we don't have any speed bumps around here. And in the back of my mind, I was like, kind of like, bro, imagine someone just crashed into my car right now.
Mm.
And but then like my wife was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, and I was like, it's probably nothing. Like, I think it was like on the other side over there, like whatever. Because she was like, your car's out there. I was like, yeah, I know, but like it's probably not by there. So I didn't sound like it was in that area. And then she
Mm.
checks the Ring doorbell camera, and sure enough,
It's your fucking car.
uh, yeah, there's a car. So all we saw on the Ring was like a car, and then my car behind it. So like it looked like it crashed like straight into it.
Mm.
And then so like I don't sleep with I only sleep in my underwear. I'm not gonna lie. So I don't have underwear
Yeah.
on. So I had to get dressed real quick.
That's more than I sleep in.
I mean, hey, I like bro, like we're just like speed getting dressed to like go out there,
Hmm.
and so like we go out there, and the car is flipped upside down,
Yeah, which is very
and
intense. Like you have to be going really fast to flip a car, like really fast.
yeah, it's insanity. It's insanity.
Yep.
How do I open this shit? Can I just do this? I don't know. Okay, I'll try to show it. But, jeez. Bro, I hate my computer. This shit's slow as fuck.
It's all good. We all have those moments from time to time.
Anyway, yeah. So the car is flipped on its head, and I'm like, holy shit, dude! Like, bro, there's probably like someone fucking dead in there.
Mm.
Like,
It could have very well been the case. Rolling's doing like what's really dangerous is what happens is like what happened when the glass shatters, the air in the car kind of gets sucked out the window, and sometimes it can pull people out and then catch the middle in the roll, dude, and they'll get all like fucking murdered and murked and fucking turn into Swiss like fucking not even Swiss cheese, you could turn into like a meatball. Horrible. Yeah, don't drive recklessly, guys. It's not good.
Yeah. Oh my god. Sorry.
You
Anyway.
trying to share the picture of it exploded?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Dead fam. Can you see it? Are you looking?
No, I can't see anything. Oh,
Okay.
on Twitch? Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
should probably tune in Twitch. That'd be a really good
No, that's all
co-host
right.
thing to do.
That's all right. Yeah. So I have it up. But yeah,
Nice.
this is the car. It's
Yeah.
upside down.
Yep.
uh, and this was like way later. So this is like after everything, kind of
Mm-hmm.
like right before like the tow truck came. You can see the I don't know if you can see it here, but their tire on the backside came off, so it's like over there somewhere.
Oh yeah, I can see the tire now.
Yeah, yeah. And so yeah, that when I saw that, I was like, oh, maybe they didn't even hit my car, but like
Mm,
maybe they just flipped somehow.
somehow.
Um, but no, they did hit my car. And so when we went out there, there were like 4 or 5 other people standing out there, and then there was like one lady kind of like off to the side.
Mm,
And I'll just go back to our normal thing so that people can see me as I talk. So there's like a lady like off to the side, you know what I'm saying?
mm,
There's like some other people, but like no one was calling 911. Like so, like as soon as we went out there, like my wife called like well right before I was like, bro, like the car's on its head, like just call them, right? So she
yeah.
called 911, and we're out there, and like everybody's just kind of standing around, and then someone goes up to the car because like, bro, I think bro, I'm like, bro, this car's on its head, like someone's probably fucking dead in there, like or fucked up, like this fucked up, yo, like holy shit. And so like I go up, I don't go to the car, someone else goes up to the car, and like there's someone in there, and
Mm,
like this lady's just off to the side, and she's like, does anybody have a phone I can use? Like bro, I didn't have anything, my wife had her phone because she was calling 911, and she's like
mm,
talking to them. I don't have anything on me because I literally just got dressed and ran outside.
yeah.
And so like there's like somebody in there, and this guy's like, bro, it's like he's like are you I hope you're like, are you all right? Like help is on the way. And then like, my wife's like giving all the information to the 911 dispatcher and shit. And like then like I just see this person crawl like feet first out of the driver's side window,
Mm,
and he's perfectly fine. And like he just like starts like walking around, and then the lady who was there, apparently she was in the vehicle, and she got out before we came outside or something, like because it was only like literally like less than a minute from when we heard it to when we went outside. She's
yeah.
just standing there like cross-armed the whole time, and like this guy comes out, and she's like, fuck you, like like to this dude who just came out of the car, and I'm
Mm,
just like, what the fuck is going on? And she's like, fuck you, you fucking tried to kill me. And I was like, what
mm,
the fuck? She's like, you did that shit on purpose. Like, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? I was like, bro,
yeah.
I don't know this guy. Why did he hit my car on purpose? Like, and like I'm just like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Like, and then like he starts like walking around like a little bit like, and like when he got out of the car, because my wife was on the phone with 911, she's like telling him what's going on, and she goes up to him like, because and she's like, okay, help is coming, like just stay here, like sit down, whatever, like till help arrives, like because he could be injured, we don't know, right? And like later she told me like he smelled it like alcohol, which could be a thing. um
Mm-hmm.
but like she was like, you fucking tried to kill me, I was trying to sleep in the back, I'm gonna fucking kill you, bitch, my son's gonna kill you, bitch. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like they're straight on just like fucking, she's going crazy. This guy is
Mm,
like cool as a cucumber, he's just chilling, he's like, I didn't do that, like it's, I didn't mean for this to happen, like it's all
mm.
good, it's all good. Like he's just chilling the fuck out, and I'm just like, bro, your car flipped, like how are you so calm? Like
Some people like, it's like their adrenaline is pumping to a point like where they like, they just gotta like, or you just like to the point where it's like I don't know, when things are so fucked, you just gotta accept the fact that they're fucked, and you just like, you deal
yeah.
with it.
Well, I mean,
You
like
deal with
that's
it
how
all
I
as it
was. I
happens.
wasn't like freaking
Yeah.
out or anything out there either, even though like I did see like my car was damaged, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, but like there's nothing I can do about it, so I'm just chilling, right? Like, but like
Yeah.
this guy's car is like flipped, and like it sounds like he has bigger issues than that, right? But
Yeah.
so they're just like going at it, and I'm just like, what the fuck, man? And then like, bro, like luckily like cops arrived like 2 minutes later. Like they were fast as fuck getting there.
Yeah.
And so like, they try to like calm the situation down or whatever, and like they're like, talking to them, because obviously they don't know what's going on. They only know what the dispatchers told them at that point. And so like they're trying to figure everything out, and then they talk to us because we're the ones who called 911, and we're just telling them like, oh yeah, those were the only two people that got out of the car. We didn't see anybody else come out. There's like no one else in there. And I was like, yeah, and that's my car that like back there that they hit. And so like, he asked for my ID and my insurance information and stuff, which I gave them, and then he gave me the case number and all that stuff. And so like, we're working out the things that need to be worked out while like all this stuff is going on. And then like as I'm talking to them, like obviously they're trying to figure out if our doorbell camera picked it up, which is only sent to motion, so like it didn't. Like literally you just see my car, and the next second you see that car flipped. Like you don't see the actual thing that happened, which is kind of annoying. And nobody else's doorbell picked it up. And then there's like
I think the problem with that though is like like these doorbells like connect to cloud servers that don't really have what I would call maximum storage. So if they like turn on recorded like everything happening on the street, like they would get flooded quickly, and then you get a bunch of annoying emails.
Yeah, I mean some people can do that, but like
no, absolutely there are security cameras that do it, and there are front door cameras that do that. But most people have like what do you guys have, a Ring, just like the basic like $40 ring or whatever.
I have no idea. I didn't buy it.
It's probably really cheap, just the most basic ring they have. Like there are some really good Ring cameras, but then there's like just really basic doorbell cams. So
so like as I'm talking to one of the police officers, like the other guy is like still going at it kind of with the lady. Like I don't know what's going on, but then like I don't hear anything he's saying. He's just kind of shouting, and he starts running, and then the cops tackle him, and like they arrest him. and
hell like, yeah, brother.
And I'm just like, bro, like what the fuck? Like all of a sudden, like, and like my wife told me like he was saying like I didn't mean to do it or something. Like I don't know what was going on, but like, bro, and then like you just have other like all these people in our neighborhood just coming out and just like standing there, and like some guy, bro.
That's how it be, bro. The fucking rubbernecking, bro. The rubbernecking in this country.
They're not even rubbernecking. They're literally just coming out and standing there, like next to me. And like this, one of my neighbors, I don't know who he is, but he was really drunk. Like, dude, that dude was fucked up, and he's like, he's either he's Russian or Ukrainian, I don't know, and I don't want to offend anybody. Like, he had a deep accent, and he's drunk, and he's like, if you need a witness, I'm when your neighbors, you can contact me. I was like, bro, it's fine. Like, the police will give me the case number. We're chilling. Like, it's like this shit, dude. Oh. Yeah, and then that was pretty much it. And then I called my insurance, right, the same night. And so like I'm on the phone, like obviously I was on hold for like an hour at like midnight for some reason. Apparently Geico's busy as fuck at midnight. So I was on the phone for like an hour, like just waiting to talk to someone. And then I reported, because I was gonna do it through the app, but like, bro, like there's nothing appropriate. Like I wasn't in a collision because I wasn't in the car. I wasn't like it wasn't a hit and run because they couldn't run. Their cars flipped. Like, like, and like the way they wrote it up is like,
technically it is a hit and run if you try to flee on foot, but we don't need to go into technicality.
He didn't flee though. Like,
did he make the attempt and they tackled him to the ground? You said, right?
No, he wasn't like running away like from the scene where they tackled him. He was like getting angry with like the lady or something, and like I think like the cops like were like trying to subdue him, and then he started like trying to run.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, and then like I saw parking, and I was like, well, I didn't get hit or hit anyone while parking. Like my car is parked, and they put it under parking. I was like, okay, I guess. But anyway, so I didn't see I didn't think that was.
I've read police reports with spelling errors, the grammatical errors.
No, not the police. No, my insurance.
Oh yeah.
Because when you report like a claim or whatever online, there's like different like categories you can choose, and like I was like, bro, I don't see any category for my parked car was hit. Yeah. So that's why I called them, and I was on hold for an hour.
Stationary vehicle being struck.
Yeah, it wasn't there. That wasn't an option.
Wow.
The option they put it under was parking. So, yeah, so I reported it to them, like was going through it, and they're like, "Well, do you want to do it? Do you want to file the claim under your insurance, or do you want to do it under theirs?" And I was like, "What?" I was like,
I don't
"Well,"
think that.
I was like, "Bro,
I
well, I don't here. If you guys haven't seen, okay,
and did you verify they don't have insurance on that car?
uh, um,
Oh,
but okay, so here's the
hmm
picture back. Um, so if you guys can't see this stuff coming out of their car, um, yeah, I'm pretty sure they lived in
no, dude. People throw tons of junk
there.
and shit in
Hey,
their car all the time, bro. Like, you didn't ask if these guys had insurance?
I didn't talk to them because the
Oh,
police were there.
this is and the police didn't like you didn't call the police and say if they can confirm
I
if they had insurance.
I was given a case number and I
Uh,
requested the police report.
okay.
Um,
Y-
there's so okay. If you want to know the reasons I think that they live in their car, it's
Uh-huh.
because where I live, a lot of people live in their cars. Like literally, right? Like I'm here, right? So there's houses here, or
Yeah.
like townhouses or whatever, and then there's a hill that goes up, and then there's a parking lot by a boat ramp, and a bunch of
Mm,
homeless people live there in their cars or just in tents or whatever, a bunch.
yeah. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they lived there, and they were going back there when they decided, hey, fuck this shit, I'm turning into this car.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, and if you live in your car, insurance is probably not high on your priority list of things you need.
You'd be surprised actually how many guys run
Um,
around with insurance.
I don't want to wait the however long it takes to go through their insurance,
Yes. Yeah.
because going through other people's insurance takes months
Yeah.
for some reason. Like
Well,
when I got
it's because it's antagonistic. That's why. It's because the other insurance. You're saying, "Hey, insurance money, insurance company, give me money," and they're like, "No, we don't want to." So they fight you on it like every step. And yeah,
yeah,
it's really retarded. It's
I
really
was
dumb.
like years ago, I was leaving work one day and I was driving, and somebody pulled out, smashed the back of my car, spun
Mm,
me around, and I don't know if like I remember I had my car just towed home,
mm,
and I got their information and whatever, and I called their insurance, and I never heard back, and I
mm,
kept calling and never heard anything from them, and I waited like a week and a half for them to get back to me, and I was
mm.
like, they're never getting back to me, so I ended up going through my insurance,
Yeah.
and that fucked me
Well, yeah. That's why you got to
because
stick your insurance on them. Like,
because
you got to stay like,
my car was totaled at that time, and so they didn't pay me, they paid what I owed left on the car, but obviously that takes time, and in the meantime I still needed to have a life and go to work, and so I had to get a new car, and because I went through my insurance, I still had to pay my deductible of $1,000, which I couldn't afford because I just bought a new car so I can get to work.
yeah.
And I missed. That was the only time I've ever missed a payment of anything. I missed a payment for 1 month on my old car because of that $1,000 deductible. Despite the fact that they just got 10K off of my insurance,
Yeah.
they were mad that I didn't pay the next month the $200 payment that I couldn't afford. Luckily, it was around tax season, and I just paid it off once I got my taxes back.
Yeah.
But that's like the annoying thing. So it's the same situation. I'm gonna have to pay $1,000 for literally parking my car legally on the street and somebody ramming into it.
Mm.
I mean, it's gonna take probably a month for them to do the work on
But
my
listen,
car.
I understand it's really frustrating and you really hate being inconvenienced, but you don't have to there are other methods you can go about. Like I'm gonna put that idea out there, but those methods are really inconvenient and I know you really despise inconvenience. Like it's just what it comes down to because
Well,
our comp like I texted you, we live in a very antagonistic society where you have to go and you have to shake down other people for money. You have to
yeah, that's
file
what the insurance
ICC
is for. What
you
the
have to
fuck do I
file
pay them
ICC
for?
Exactly. That's like the problem. You had to stick your insurance company on their insurance company, and then maybe
But
they
I
would
don't
have
know
been
what their
able to go.
insurance company is until we get the police
Yeah,
report, which we have to wait for.
yeah, I know. And like so, and then you'll be in limbo with your car, and that's
Like
like shitty.
based on what I read
Mm,
with the city police is like
mm,
if you request information about an accident, it's available 15 days after the accident.
mm.
So I have to wait 2 weeks.
Have you
Just
tried calling the police department directly?
I hate talking on the phone with people.
Ah, then I don't know what to tell you, brother.
So I
Especially PDs, they don't really do this whole online thing. Like they
uh,
pretend to, but they really don't.
I
That's why
sent
it's
an
15
email.
days.
I
Okay.
sent an email.
All right.
Um, with the form filled out, a request form filled out.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, like because when I talked to my insurance, they said, "Oh, can you get a copy of the police report?" And I said, "Well, I gave you guys the case number." And they said, "Yeah, we have it, but you could probably get it faster than we can."
Mm.
And I was like, I can try."
Because they're probably saying too, like you could probably go down to the police department and ask for it, like say like, hey, I was in a wreck and my insurance really needs this information. I was and like I'm the directly related party, so I was wondering if I could get like an expedited report or anything like that. But again, like if you don't like doing that kind of stuff, it's like really annoying.
Yeah. So yeah. So I sent them the email for the request for the police report, but bro, even then, like, then I have to wait 2 weeks just for the process to get started, just to find out that they probably didn't have insurance. Like, to
Mm.
me, it's just a waste of time. Like, and if they do have insurance and whatever, like, my insurance will go after them anyway to get the money back.
Yeah,
Like, that's just how that works. Like, they'll try to get my deductible back, obviously, but they care more about recovering money for them, despite the fact
yeah.
that I pay them every month. Um,
Well, that's how insurance company. That's why insurance in this country has always been fucked. Like the idea is like fucked from like the get go. Like we're making bets on you, basically not getting into an accident. When we do, we try and like weasel our way out of any of our losses whatsoever.
of
It's
course.
just the incentive structure is all fucked up in insurance. That's why I never wanted to work in insurance. Like everyone told me, like, oh, you'd be a great insurance guy because you're always like really smart. Well, I don't want to fucking do that because I think this product is fucked. Like from inherent intention. Like,
Yeah, people
damn.
used to tell me to try to become an actuary so I can do risk assessment for
Mm.
insurance companies. I'm like,
They want you to get in all that dirty business, bro. Like that's the first thing they all fucking say.
yeah. So the I got in contact with the adjuster. It came out yesterday, and then finished the estimate like around 3 o'clock today, and then called me and said, "Hey, I'm gonna send a tow truck. Where do you want to?" And I was like, closest place."
Yep.
So yeah, they came and picked up my car. So that's the long story of why I didn't go to the gym today yet.
There you go. Yep. Because his
Uh,
car's totaled. Because he was in a wreck. Because people ran into him.
yeah, and I'm
Yep.
not even like that bothered by it, to be honest. Like, shit happens. You
Well,
just kind of have to roll with it. Um,
yeah. And it is true. Like even if $1,000 deductible, your car, like obviously it's gonna need to have some chassis work done. It's gonna need to go up and down again. So like they're probably working on like a 10 grand bill. That probably got wiped away. The insurance is gonna have to eat. And that's good. At least
yeah, the estimator said about 10K,
yeah,
and
that's what happens.
he said when it gets there, when it gets to the shop, it'll probably go up another couple thousand.
Yeah. So and
Uh,
then after you paying your deductible, that's all on the insurance, right? So
yeah,
that's why you do. That's why you do. That's why I guess that's kind of why you pay for that stuff. It's all good.
that's not the picture I have. The browser.
Yeah. Insurance on the Nerd Ledger. We're not insurance. We're not official insurance people, by the way. We can't. Nothing we say is like should be fiscal advice in any manner whatsoever, ever.
So,
I
um,
can't see. I can't see anything. And I mean,
yeah,
if
no.
you're advocating for yourself as a certified financial advisor, there's a few tests in California you need to take first.
Oh no, I'm not giving
Otherwise,
people financial advice. Hey, fuck no. Hey.
yeah, that's what I literally just said.
Oh,
And then you
sorry.
said speak for yourself, and I was like, what the what? What? Okay, you want to fucking put all that on you? Yeah,
Sorry. I know this is very annoying.
it's all good. And I say though, your car does look pretty damaged, so I could definitely see the 10K, 15K maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, this shit is.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. You definitely not drivable at that moment. And like we're not talking like emergency situation. If you're like in an apocalypse and you just needed to drive like that car would not move even if you like turn the key and like tried to
No,
make it
even
work. No.
the tow truck driver was concerned. He's like, well, if this insurance or if this place is like full,
Mm.
like even though like my insurance called them, he didn't really trust it. He's like, if they're full, like your car. He's like, they don't have much space. Your car isn't rolling anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's towed only. Tow only
So
right now.
yeah, bro, like this shit is fucked. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's probably way
Yeah,
more
your
than
tire
10.
your tires pushed up into your fucking wheel well. That's what I was saying. Like, it
Yeah,
could have damped the chassis, could have gotten shoved into the engine, but like they won't really know that. That's the thing. Like when they
yeah.
say, "Oh, it's not
That's
total."
why.
Okay,
So
the fucking mechanic is going to be the one that tells you
yeah,
whether or not it's fucking
and I
total,
asked
okay?
him too. Asked the
Yeah.
adjuster. I said, is there a possibility that
Mm.
like
When it gets to the shop, yeah.
yeah, I was like, is there a possibility the shop's estimate goes up a significant amount more than yours, pretty much, like, and to where it wouldn't even make sense to repair it? And he said
Mm.
the estimate needs to double for a total loss scenario. I don't see it happening.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just see what the mechanic, wait and see what the mechanic says, like if the chassis got bent or anything like that, or maybe something could get hammered back into place, the bar, like, maybe it was just a tire bar. Maybe it was just a tire bar that got thrown off. I don't know. They
Sure, I
won't
mean,
know that until they start peeling back and look at it from under and look at it from over and all that kind
yeah.
of stuff.
The thing he
And more
didn't put in
importantly,
his estimate that he said might be an issue is that because he thinks like he's like the front suspension is pretty much fucked, right?
yeah, yeah,
But he's like, there's probably also damage to the suspension in the back, but I couldn't tell.
yeah.
And the reason why there probably is because my car was parked normal, and after
Mm,
it got hit, the whole backside is up on the curb,
yeah.
and it's
Man,
not
I can't
like
believe those guys got
it's
out without any injuries. They sound like they hit your car pretty fucking
bro,
hard, dude. Like to
bro,
push a car out, was it? Okay, so this is a weird question. Do you engage the parking brake when you leave your car, like unattended? Is that
yeah,
something you do? Yeah. Okay. So with the parking brake on, like you need to be going over 50 miles an hour to fucking freaking shove a car, bro. With especially if it was a little sedan. That's crazy that those people got. They should count their fucking lucky stars, bro. Holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
They could have
They were
died. Like
they were unscathed.
you could have seen some shit that night that you definitely didn't want to see.
Bro, that's what I was afraid of when like
Yeah.
there's someone in
I
the
because I
car, like when they were
yeah.
when like so like I didn't think anybody was getting out of that car.
Mm,
This dude just like crawls out of the fucking driver's window,
yeah.
like feet first, just crawls out. That's
Yeah.
that's crazy to me.
Yeah. No, it's very lucky. And like you said, I've seen some shit working in defense and the criminal and law and stuff that you don't ever, I can't ever fucking see it. It fucking like makes you be a more safe driver. Let's put it like that.
Yeah,
But I definitely won't want people to see it, especially if you get stressed or if you're prone to anxiety, because it makes you just worry about certain things that are just on at the end of the day out of your control. Except for that guy who was probably in control. But it's
well,
yeah, you're really lucky you didn't see like a pile of meat like on the side of the fucking like hanging out. I've seen pictures of that like a pile of meat like hanging out the driver's side window because they got caught in the middle of the roll. It's
yeah,
fucking gnarly shit, bro.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um, but fortunately, I live really close to work, so I can walk if I need to, but I don't have
healthy.
to really because I can
Oh,
use my wife's car for the time being.
yep.
So
That is true, isn't it?
yeah, well, and
Yeah.
she's gonna be dog watching for family that's like in the Philippines for like the next 3 weeks, and
Mm,
she's able to use their car that they have at their house.
mm.
So
Good. No,
yeah,
at least that all worked out. At least that worked out, and that's like you're not ruined by not having no transportation.
no, I mean, my insurance covers renting, but obviously only to a certain extent,
Mm,
and I don't really want to rent a car to be honest. So
yeah.
yeah. I mean, definitely not for max $35 a day, bro. If I'm gonna rent a car, I'm gonna rent something fucking
Well,
sick as fuck.
if your insurance fucking covers it, and it's capped at $35 a day, is
Yeah,
that what you're saying?
yeah,
Yeah, I'll fight. Yeah, fuck that shit, dude. Yeah,
yeah. So and it only goes up to like a certain amount as well.
yeah. So
So
that's the point. Well, I'm sure that into with your use, I'm sure that you would have covered it from the day to day, but still, like that's still kind of dumb. Like
yeah,
at the end of the day.
I mean, especially if I don't really need to, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll make it
Anyway,
work.
and in other nerd news that is not related to Cage's car turning into like a little action movie scene, in I saw Hayao Miyazaki's The Boy and the Heron last night, and man, what a fucking great movie. And I just want to like
Was
put
it?
this out there to just give out some. I am so lucky, like in 2024, that I still get to go into a movie theater and see like, an original brand new Studio Ghibli with Hayao Miyazaki at the helm. Like, and just
Well,
making.
I
I'm
mean,
really
but
lucky.
it. I mean, it's 2023 still. So
I know, no, 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 but like, it's still like, when was the last time a Miyazaki movie came out? A Ghibli movie came
didn't
out?
didn't the head of Studio Ghibli whatever come out recently and say like they're fucked pretty much?
He said that once Miyazaki is gone, it's going to be really hard to maintain the quality of the
Yeah,
animation.
because of like his
Like,
son or something.
yeah, his son, like, I just think like, he's just like, there's di- this is hand drawn. There's a huge difference between hand drawn and digital. Like, that's
Oh,
just what it comes down
yeah,
to.
I hear
Okay.
about it, but like Studio
Yeah.
Ghibli or whatever. But like I didn't really ever understand the appeal. But I don't really watch anime, so.
Yeah. No, dude, like it's just, they're like storybooks like sprawling out on front of your screen, dude. Like just totally a window onto another world. Like the storytelling, the pace of the story, like, the sheer quality of sometimes you're just staring at like living art pieces on your screen. You're not really like watching animation, right? You're just staring at art. Um, tells a lot of really heartbreaking stories. There's some movies that are so fucked that actually that I wouldn't recommend you watch them. One of them is Grave of the Fireflies, which is about two kids surviving in post-war Korea, which is like a horrible It's no fun. In like, it's horrible. There's horrible violence in most of them. So like, if you're
Hmm.
squeamish about that kind of stuff, don't watch them. But at the end of the day, he just tells stories that you other people don't really tell, and they're just really good, and I love it. And the quality of animation in The Boy and the Heron was fantastic. It did have issues. It wasn't like, oh wow, that blows like Spirited Away out of the water. It wasn't perfect like Spirited Away was, because Spirited Away for me is like it's an almost perfect story. And I'm telling like sheer storytelling, right? From the beginning, the middle, and the end. It's almost like a perfect story that flows, just the natural flow that it follows throughout the entire pace of the movie, right up to the end is fantastic. This movie has some of that too, but it's not like perfect. There's some like weird things, and they wait too long to introduce the Parrot King and all this kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it was really good. And if you love Miyazaki movies, go see it in theaters. That's what I have to say. You know,
Um.
what were you looking at? What was that was a little weird. You just or did
No,
someone text you
because
like, "Hey, bro," like,
no, it's
okay.
because I see the FPS is like lower than what it's set at. I'm just like wondering why. I don't know. Just tripping out. Anyway,
And the
yeah.
other new news is that there's not a lot of nerd news. There
Well,
was the Game Awards.
speaking of anime,
Oh, okay.
somebody at work recommended I watch an anime.
Which one?
And I was well, I don't know if it's actually an anime, but
Was
he's
it
like, hey, there's a show that just came out. I watched it. It's really good. You should check it out. And it's kind of weird
mm,
because this guy's like in his 50s, and I didn't expect it to be what it was. And so he recommended I watch Blue Eye Samurai,
yeah,
which
yeah.
which is
That is hell.
on Netflix.
Netflix, yeah. It's more
And
like a 3D animation, but you know what's
yeah,
funny about that? I watch Bloomberg every day, right? Because I
hmm,
just like watching propaganda straight from the
sure,
hose's mouth.
yeah,
And where there's this old funny guy named Tom Keene. He's in like a lifelong economist and stuff like that. And he hosts this show called Bloomberg Surveillance. Has been going
hmm,
on since like the 70s. Like they just look at and he said that he watched Blue Eye Samurai. And this dude is at least over 80 years old. And he's like, wow, if they keep making animation like Blue Eye Samurai, they're gonna get all these old guys watching this stuff. So there you
yeah.
go. You got that double down, brother. So I'm saying go and see it. I haven't seen it yet, but
I've only
like,
watched the first two episodes because it's not
mm,
like because it's like it's anime stylish.
yeah.
Um,
Well, it's
like
3D. It's 3D animation, right?
yeah, but I mean it's still like anime. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know what anime is, but it's like it's Japanese animation. That's what it is.
Yep.
But well, I don't even know if it's Japanese. I don't know. It's like anyway. Yes, it is computer model 3D animation. But um, like I expected it to be like short, like 20-minute episodes, but it's like hour-long episodes. So I only watched the first two so far. Obviously, I've been dealing with some stuff, so I haven't had time to continue watching. Um, but I thought it was really good. I didn't expect to see nudity in a show recommended to me from a 50-year-old person, but hey, there it was. And it just got renewed for a season 2 as well. So I don't know. I enjoyed it, at least what I've seen so far. And then my wife finally started watching Ahsoka, and she's 6 episodes in, and I don't think she's too lost. As someone who hasn't watched Clone Wars or Rebels, like she has some questions, but like she was more intrigued than confused, which I think is good. I think that speaks well for the show. So,
Yeah.
but she did have a lot of questions.
No, yeah. And in fact, like, again, that old economist dude watched all of them, and like he reads a lot of books, so like, like, wow, it was really good. And like, it's entertainment. It is, and these things are entertainment. Like, people are sleeping on anime. One of these days, it's going to be like not just like the thing on the edge of like nerdom. Like, it's going to be the main thing in the anime. It's like it's going to be what I think that in the next probably. I think by 2035, I think that in American theaters there will almost always be an animation movie from Japan dubbed or subbed in theaters.
Well, have you seen
Like
Godzilla -1?
No, I haven't. I need to though.
I've heard incredible things about it.
Yeah, I need to go. I need to go. I need to watch Shin Godzilla, and I need to watch Godzilla -1. It's in theaters. Maybe I'll go see that next Tuesday. I don't know. See.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it has like a much longer of a run in theaters, but yeah, I might go see it too. So hey, yeah. But yeah, I mean, if nothing else, I mean, if they don't think anime is mainstream enough ever, like what they'll do is they'll just start yoinking all the stories from anime and putting white people in them, and doing live action versions without giving credit to the original creators. It's kind of the thing Hollywood does, So, but yeah, so there's something that this is like one of the only times we've ever done pre-show prep. Pre-podcast preparation.
Well, I got 15 minutes for this.
No, it'll be quick. This will be pretty quick.
You're right, it will be quick. So, I think we came down to the same conclusion.
Well, my conclusion might be a little different, but more or less, yeah. So there's something people have been doing. Like I've seen like other like podcasts and like people that for some reason Facebook wants you to know are famous. Like so they keep giving you all their clips, and I don't give a shit about them. But like I've seen it like in like sports talks and all this stuff. Like people do like what they call like the Mount Rushmore of stuff, where like they're like, oh, like what's like, who would be on the Mount Rushmore of the Lakers, right, or something like that. Like, and it's not like what are the best things, right? Because Mount Rushmore isn't like who were the best presidents or whatever. Like Mount Rushmore is like who helped form our country in important ways, right? So like who are like, to me, the Mount Rushmore of something is like what, like the most important or most influential or most significant part, like things of the most important subset of a larger set, right? Is that how you interpret that as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So I sent Cher a list of every Marvel movie that's come out before the MCU started, and asked him like to pick the 4 that he felt were the most like significant or influential for superhero movies today, and like the MCU as well. And so pretty much he came to the same conclusion I did, as far as like ignoring everything that came out before like Blade, because I mean, let's be honest, like Howard the Duck, it's a cult classic, but like
it's a cult classic. Yeah, exactly. Like all of them are cult classics. Like the Captain America movie, I've seen stills from it, dude. It looks cheesy AF.
Yeah, the Captain America movie, Dolph Lundgren's Punisher, the Fantastic Four movie that never got actually released.
Can I be honest with you?
Yes.
I never knew there were Punisher movies.
Yeah, there's the Dolph Lundgren one. There's Thomas Jane.
Let that sit for a second.
Yeah.
Like that's how well I know. Like
and then, there was like a Warzone and stuff, but
that's how well they did. I knew there were Punisher video games that were kind of fun, but I never knew that there were Punisher movies. Like I think about that. Like that's how low and like low down. Like I do not know that they are.
Yeah. So these are movies. Again, we're not gonna pick the 4 that made the most money or the 4 that were like the first ones or whatever. We're gonna pick the 4 that we think had the most influence on today's superhero / comic book movies, well, at least Marvel, right? And so pretty much I'll go through the list of all of them besides the one that I already mentioned. So there's Blade, X-Men, Blade 2, obviously,
Yep.
Blade 1, 2, 3, X-Men 1, 2, 3, Spider-Man 1, 2, 3. What else? Ang Lee's Hulk, which came out in 2002. The Punisher with Thomas Jane. Blade 3. Elektra, Daredevil, Man-Thing, Fantastic Four, Ghost Rider, Spider-Man 3, and Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. And so essentially the question is, which four of these would, like, what is the Mount Rushmore of pre-MCU Marvel films?
Yeah.
And
And
I'll let you go if you wanna go
I
first.
mean, for me, like at the end of the day, it just comes down to the movies I watched, which is like Blade. I never saw Blade in theaters, but I wasn't allowed to see it in theaters because I was like a kid at the time. It's pretty bloody, but I ended up watching it later with my sister because my sister had a really big vampire phase. So she watched all the vampire movies, including Underworld movies, which were fucking badass and had oh god, shit. But that's besides the point. Um, Blade were like real movies that had a really big impact and people enjoyed. I remember like the theater, like the trailers on TV were going all the time. Um,
Yeah.
and it's just
Well, I mean, not only was it like pretty much one of the first, like one of the, I mean, it was very significant, and on top of that, like, it's Blade. Like Blade isn't one of those, but it's not Spider-Man. It's not. It's not like. It's not one of the premier properties of Marvel. It's Blade. You know, and maybe that allowed them to do things they couldn't normally do, like, or like would be like have studios like barking down their back or whatever, like getting on them, like you can't do this, you have to do it this way, like because it's such an important thing. Like they're probably like, oh, it's Blade, nobody's gonna care. And
mm,
yeah. Also, if
yeah.
anybody is watching besides us, you can put your Mount Rushmore in the chat,
Yeah.
and we can have fun discussions. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you can comment and stuff. Anyway, continue. Blade.
Yeah, Blade. Let me see what I texted you so I don't fucking fumble over my own words here. Because I remember I had a really specific idea, but now I'm thinking about like fucking like X-Men obviously was the next one. I saw X-Men in theaters. It was fucking awesome.
Yep, I saw it in theaters
Um,
as well.
the Spider-Man movies, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the Spider-Man movies because they were kind of like a one-hit wonder.
I think people feel overall like they hold up today.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, at least the first two do, not Spider-Man 3.
yeah, yeah. But Spider-Man 3 was, I think, box office wise, the most successful out of the
Yeah.
three too, which is kind of.
Yeah. Well, it's because everyone went and saw it and was like, "Damn, this movie's ass."
Yeah, that's crazy because that movie, I think,
That's right.
also. Anyway, go
And
ahead.
the first Fantastic Four that came out, I really enjoyed seeing in theaters, and that actually put me in a really big Fantastic Four phase, like where I was like I had like the Fantastic Four screensaver and the Fantastic Four background and the Fantastic Four mouse cursor installed from the Fantastic Four website. So, like when I saw the movie twice and I was like, it got me really into the Fantastic Four. I don't know why, but like that was like the only time like I started researching like Reed Richards and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
Like that was the only time I like my only exposure into comics ever.
yeah. Atolia in the chat. That's my sister, by the way. She said Blade for
Oh
sure.
hi.
Remembered buying it for you for Christmas one year. Yeah, this was like, geez, like early 2000s, and
Mm,
I got the first two. I think she got me the first two, and like I tried to watch it, and in the beginning, the scene where like all the like they just release blood from the ceiling and everybody's covered in it. I gave up on it at that point. I was like, I'm not
mm.
gonna watch it. I was like 8 or 9, and yeah, it was too bloody for me. And then I watched it later, like 3 or 4 years later, and I really liked
Mm.
it. So okay, so
Yeah,
your Mount Rushmore is Blade, X-Men 1, Spider-Man 1, and Fantastic Four.
Yeah, which is just all of the base. That's like the most basic options.
Yeah, well, and they're not the wrong options either because, like, again, like, this isn't the best, right? Because if we're saying the best, I mean, Spider-Man 2 is better than Spider-Man 1. X2 is arguably better than the first X-Men movie, but some people might disagree on that.
Mm.
Things like that. But my list is probably the same as yours. The only thing I might change, or maybe there's an argument for it, is Daredevil. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like
Oh,
Daredevil,
I forgot about that fucking movie, bro. Oh,
it
shit.
could have a spot. I thought it was a good movie.
Okay, well,
A lot of people think it's an awful movie,
yeah.
but like as far as like its significance or its influence, I think that like it definitely had some. I mean, bro, John Favreau was in it, and then he made Iron Man 1. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, I
Um,
think, but like Iron Man 1, though, like, John Favreau was exposed to a lot of those projects. So I think that, like,
well, I mean,
him,
yeah. So was Kevin
he did,
Feige,
yeah,
and he
them taking
saw
that,
how
all
the
that they took all that they learned. That was a genius of the MCU is like these guys took like their first 15 years of combined sporadic movie making and really made something like, they made Iron Man, which,
mhm,
nobody really saw coming, but then like it took off and then they started, all right, let's like do it. Let's make the Avengers. Like, this is our end. This is our fucking ticket in. Let's make the Avengers. And they did
yeah.
it. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean Marvel's first family. I mean the Fantastic Four, like in the history of comic books, is so important, and like I do feel like they did some justice to it in the film, but I don't know how well that translated to everyone else.
Mm,
But based on your experience, maybe like maybe it did more so.
yeah.
Like especially for like younger people, like growing up watching it.
I just
Um,
think, the suits being like such a weird blend of practical and 3D. That's like the thing where they just the Iron Man suits look so good. And like, that first movie just had Jeff Bridges, like,
oh yeah, no, I'm
it
talking about
worked.
Fantastic Four still, but
Oh yeah, sorry. I got confused. All over the place. Sorry.
no,
I
it's
had to
alright. Yeah,
do some space prep. So like, yeah. But fantastic no, that Fantastic Four movie was great. Like, it was like, and the thing was like a thing. Like he was practical, right?
yeah, it's
So,
practical.
it was practical and it was great. And the guy who played Johnny Blaze, that was Chris Evans. That's right. And he was really good. I remember because he's such an asshole and I hated him. He's like, I could go harder. I could go hotter. I could go hotter. And he's like, dude, bro, you're so hot. You could literally burn a hole in the fucking atmosphere. You're like,
Yeah,
damn. And then that's how they beat Doctor Doom. It was great. It was great. Ah, man, I fucking love that shit. And then she ripped her clothes off to fucking turn invisible the first time, and we got to see her bra, and I was like, oh, that's so hot. So like fucking 6 years old, make my little balls drop. It was just a great little movie. And
yeah,
stretching stuff looked great too.
yeah.
I
I
remember when he
honestly,
put it. I remember I was really impressed when he put his like the tip of his finger up to the freaking door, and then you saw like the little indent, but then you saw like how his like the smooth part of his finger slid under, then stretched up to like open the door. It was just fucking awesome, bro.
yeah, I think if Fox cared enough, dude, they could have done something. Like
They really could have.
they could have easily built a good universe. I mean, not only did they have X-Men, but like, bro, they did. I'm not mistaken, right? Am I mistaken? Fox did. No, they didn't. Shit. So I think it was Columbia and someone else then who. So Blade was released under Sony. Was it Sony? Blade, Daredevil, I think was Columbia Pictures, and then Ghost Rider. But like like those three, like, come on, bro. Like, you can build up for like Midnight Suns, like more like street level hero stuff. Like even what they did with Defenders on Netflix, like you could have
Well,
done that with like,
yeah, it's they're trying to do that now, but it's too late, like where
well,
they're trying to make like the League of Guys that are opposed to Spider-Man, like you said, or whatever, like it's just
they never.
fundamentally too late for that shit.
They're not opposed to Spider Man.
Oh, well then I don't
Oh,
know.
you talking about the Sinister Six?
Yeah, that's what they're making, right? With all these like with Morbius and like all those other guys, like
Oh
they're
yeah,
just
but that
making
doesn't
these
matter. Like nobody cares about that because Spider Man's in Marvel in MCU movies now. So who the
exactly they
fuck cares?
fucked
Who
up.
the fuck cares?
Exactly, and they're trying to do it now, and it's too late. They fucked up. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they recognize like they were
I thought you
sitting
were
on a
talking about
gold
like what
mine.
Marvel's doing with like Moon Knight, Daredevil, and
No.
Blade.
That's just them shooting shit at the fucking wall and seeing what sticks. Like all this fucking streaming the last 3 years has all just been them like,
Yeah.
shooting pooping on the walls and seeing like, what rolls off and what doesn't. So
Yeah.
I think
Honestly,
a lot
after
of it.
talking this through, I think your list is probably the correct one because I think people view Daredevil closer to Ghost Rider. They're like, it's kind of like meh.
Yeah, it happened,
Yeah.
like that movie happened and that was it. Like, it never got brought up again. Like the thing about like Blade, like, just you still get pictures of like, that Wesley Snipes
Wesley
walking
Snipes,
through
yeah.
that. Yeah, walking through the outfit looked great. Like, it sort of looked cool. The action sequences were fucking awesome. Like, it was just and the movie was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah, it
ton of
was a
fun.
good movie. Okay, we got 3 minutes.
Yep.
Thoughts on Dave Filoni saying anyone can be a Jedi with enough training?
I mean, this is just him falling into a sand pit that George Lucas fell into when he said that, like, oh, no, you need to be of a specific bloodline to be a Jedi. You can be a Jedi if it serves the plot. Back to you.
I think it's accurate. I think people get the wrong idea of it. It's kind of like anybody could be a physicist if they studied enough, but like we
Yeah,
know for sure, like that dumbass guy, we know he'll never be a physicist no matter how hard he studies, right? So like you have to have some kind of aptitude for it, but you don't
yeah,
have to be born like Anakin Skywalker to become a Jedi. Like
yeah.
you can learn to use the Force if you're dedicated enough, if you're
Yeah.
willing to put in the time and
Yeah.
effort and
we,
whatever.
we don't have time to go over this too, but like this is the whole like again like why Kotar was so badass, the Infinite Empire before the Great Hyperspace War, which is we're going like really early in Star Wars history here, but basically there was like one peoples that found the hyperspace technology first, and then they
Hmm.
conquered literally the whole Star Wars like the Star Wars galaxy, and then they all fucking like they ruled for
Is that the
2000 years, and those
Yuzon
guys were
Vong? Or no?
no, there was no the Yuzon Vong were the guys that came out. That's the Rakatan. The Yuzak Vong came. They were like flesh people. The
Uh-huh.
reason that Sidious is building the Empire is
Yeah.
because like they were in a different galaxy and they were going to invade, and he saw it in a Force premonition. But this is all from Star Wars Legends, like the books and stuff like that, trying to
Right.
justify the Empire and stuff.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
but the Rakatan were leaders of the Infinite Empire, and they were all Force sensitive, which is why again why they were so incredibly powerful. And then there was like, the Sith Empire happened after the Rakatan gave them the hyperspace technology, and then like, everything, and then it all went off from there. And then like, and then we're off to the races. And then the hyperspace war started, which is the foundations of the original Republic and all that stuff. So,
And then Bane destroyed the Sith Empire and then created the
yeah.
Rule 2, and then it was like, hey, fuck you
And
guys.
then in Star Wars, there's this other empire. In Star Wars, the Old Republic, there's this other empire in the Edge of Galaxy, which is like the actual true Sith Empire. And it's actually really cool. I don't know. We should really like do a lore playthrough of that game one day, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But there's so
Yeah.
much content to go through, and we got to pay for it. Is the problem?
Well, anyway, Chair has to go. He's running some RP skirmish or
No,
something.
I'm PvPing.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not RP. It's not RP. I'm
he's
just
doing Star Wars
I'm
Galaxies, guys.
yep,
Okay,
yep,
and he's got an appointment. So,
yep.
thank you everybody for hanging out with us, tuning in, listening to 30 minutes of my life, and then 20 minutes of this
Yeah, that's
of the
whatever
podcast.
this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever this is.
Much love. Thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, rate, review. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.